The point of this Halo Tips video is to encourage you to let go of things out of your control, to ignore the junk and the noise, and focus on the things that actually matter. This applies to both in the game and outside of it. What's good, everyone, and welcome back. Once again, thanks for the support on this series. You all are absolutely awesome, and this has been a lot of fun so far. Alright, so Halo Infinite has some serious problems that it currently is facing. I told you all that I generally like to focus on the positive, the uplifting, the inspiring with these videos. And I'm not really that into continually talking about the day-to-day climate of a game's overall perception. It's just really draining, and there's enough of that content out there. However, it's pretty easy to see that Infinite has a cheating problem, many ranked system issues, and the PC build has stability problems. I can say this with confidence, that if they cannot remedy the cheating issue, the game will suffer some serious negative player retention consequences as a result. Similarly, game crashing issues deter players from queuing up in ranked matches for fear of losing points. Now, these are both very solvable problems, and I have confidence that the game crash issues are likely going to see resolution soon. At least I hope so. The cheating issue, I don't really know enough about how anti-cheat technology works, especially in a free-to-play game, to say with confidence if and when we will see resolution on this. But put simply, it has to be fixed for the game to continue. Now let's talk realistically though. It is very probable, very probable, that both of these items will see fixes eventually. Probably not as fast as we all would like it to happen, but this game is way too much of an investment from Microsoft for it not to eventually get these primary pain points addressed. The agility of these fixes matters though, big time. Now, if you were to go onto Twitter though and just scroll a little bit, you would think that the sky is falling and the end is absolutely near for Halo and it will never ever recover again. Twitter is really great for hyperbolic statements and sentiments because it's much easier for negativity to gain traction than positivity. It's just how our world operates outside of the gaming space. It's the same thing, just look at the news. Now, are there nuggets of truth to the doom scroll? Yeah, there is. Cheating in a free-to-play game that goes unchecked is a very serious problem that negatively impacts players and can absolutely shape the perception of a game long-term. But, and this is a big but, you can't let things outside of your control shape your day-to-day mood, your happiness, or your joy. How many times have you opened up Twitter or Reddit or even YouTube and seen nothing but an onslaught of negative comments and end-of-the-world statements about the state of a game? Before you know it, it's all you can think about the next time you play, and it becomes an obsession, something that eats away at your mind during every single play session. Then you find that every time you open up Twitter or Reddit or YouTube, it's the only content you see, which makes it even harder to enjoy the stuff you like. Constructive criticism is key, and voicing player feedback is also crucial. We have to do that as a fan base for a game's community. We have to. However, you don't want it to become a complete obsession where things outside of your control completely rob you of the joy from your favorite activities. Just like you can't let things outside of your control in the game negatively impact your pursuit to improve as a player. The two spheres are both one and the same concept. So let's shift to in-game for a second here to demonstrate. Inside every single match of Halo, you have thousands of small decisions to make. Where to go on the map, how to position yourself, what objectives to push and when, how you handle engagements. There is no such thing as the perfect game, where every single one of those thousands upon thousands of micro decisions were absolutely the right call. Even the greatest matches of all time with the best players have room for improvement. But I can guarantee you that in every single play session you sit down to play Halo, there are going to be factors outside of your control. The obvious one, random teammates. If you're going in solo or without a friend, you know if you played any online game ever, the quality of your teammates can be a total game of chance. Similarly, things like game crashes or a high-ping server you get thrown onto, those are things outside of your control. These factors can be really, irritating, especially when you have a goal to reach a higher rank or a certain amount of wins. Junk out of your control is going to happen. It's as simple as that. There are always going to be the factors outside of your control that impact the outcome of your matches. The important thing, though, is to ignore those elements when it comes to personal growth and development as a player. Recognize and understand that everyone who has solo queued to Onyx has gone through similar circumstances to you. They all had random teammates, and probably game crashes, and high-paying servers, and just nonsense beyond their control. And yet somehow, they powered through it. They got to Onyx. They didn't let the things beyond their control stop them from pursuing their passions and improving or growing as a player. Getting up to Onyx is an attitude. Improving at hard tasks, that is an attitude. Those who adopt that attitude and embrace it fully are the ones who find success fast. Those who continually blame everyone but themselves, they stay stagnant. Always recognize that there is room to grow and improve regardless of the nonsense outside of your control. You can do this. Everyone watching this video can adopt that attitude. In every single match, you, as an individual, have responsibility and choices, decisions that could always be better. Even if you have like the 3 worst teammates in the entire match and they dropped the ball, you still have areas that you can focus on to improve. Did you position correctly? Did you attempt to contest the power-ups, the power weapons? Did you take the correct engagements? Did you pre-aim where you should have? Did you hit the movement tech you've practiced outside of the match, like your curb slides? Now, that doesn't guarantee that every match is winnable. Some of them won't be. Even if you play your absolute best, there's going to be times where you've got teammates or issues outside of your control where it's not winnable. But that doesn't prevent you from still using it as an opportunity to improve. Once you recognize this concept and adapt it for yourself, it'll change absolutely everything for you as a player. I'm not saying that tilt just goes away. It doesn't. But you won't be tilting as easily. You will understand that your online match-made games are nothing more than an arena for you to hone and refine certain personal skills and decision-making that then can translate over to environments like a LAN or a tournament. I want to circle back to a phrase I mentioned earlier with those people who grinded up to Onyx, who went through the tough stuff. They didn't let the things beyond their control stop them from pursuing their passions and improving or growing as a player. This ties in directly with what we opened the video with, the negativity and end-of-the-world discussions that permeate social media and YouTube regarding a game. You have some choices as a person. You can let things beyond your control dictate your passions, your mood, and joy. Or you can choose not to let these things control you. To see things as they are, obviously you're not putting rose-colored glasses on, you're not ignoring the problems, but to rise above the noise and enjoy the things you choose to spend time and effort on. I've been making gaming videos now since 2011, all the way back to Halo Reach, and I've seen this same cycle over and over again. A game releases, the honeymoon phase ends, and then the criticisms fly. Now let's be clear, Infinite has absolutely stuff worthy of clear criticism, like the cheating problem, lack of content, the ranked issues, and the PC game stability stuff. That's very valid criticism, but these issues should not dictate your happiness or joy as a person. As a player of this game and community, it's important to voice that feedback, but once you've voiced it, try not to dwell on it 24/7. You and I cannot control how fast or effectively our points of feedback are addressed. We literally can't. It's very, very rarely, no matter how loud a community voices a point of feedback, I just rarely have seen it accelerate or change things as fast as the community would like it to. So we voice our feedback, then we move on. I really like Halo Infinite. I find enjoyment with the time I get to spend on it, but there's tons of things that frustrate me to no end about elements of the experience. But I just can't live in a space of pure negativity and anger for stuff that's outside of my control, like these issues that were just highlighted here. It seeps into other areas of my life, I've stopped opening Twitter in the mornings. In fact, I've almost done away with the platform at this point, barely checking it, because so often I go on there looking for cool and creative content, uplifting things, and within a few scrolls, my mood is soured as I've seen nothing but doom, gloom, and negativity surrounding the games and things that I enjoy. There's a real benefit to seeking out cool and creative stuff regarding the games and hobbies and interests that we enjoy. I know that for myself, I don't want to let elements out of my control define my happiness. The two concepts regarding this, both inside and outside of the game, are applicable to life, man. So once again, I leave you with what the video opened with. I encourage you to let go of the things out of your control, to ignore the junk and the noise, and to focus on the things that actually matter, the things that you enjoy and bring you happiness. Voice your feedback, but don't live in a space of anger at elements beyond your control. I personally have taken a ranked break until we see a stability patch. That's how I've chosen to not let things beyond my control dictate my mood. Maybe I'll play some matches here and there, but ultimately I think the game has a lot of potential. I still enjoy it, but we need to see some things change. Would love to know what you guys think about all of this. If you want to check out some of the other videos in this tip series, click the video on screen. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again very soon.